Good afternoon. I'm absolutely delighted to be here and thank you for staying behind and starving for a little bit longer to listen to what I have to say. My name is Rachel Colaso. I head up education for Brisbane City's Economic and Development Board. And I am here in India to talk to school owners, principals, different stakeholders and governments looking at ways that all of our institutions in Brisbane can build stronger partnerships through education. So I just wanted to share with you today a little bit more about Brisbane and also talk about 3 case studies which as a city we are working towards to make sure that students in Brisbane are future-proofing the city, that we're creating talent which talks to the 4 Cs and the skills of the 21st century, as well as, if we have talent, if we produce the right talent at school age, this will position the city very well for the future, which is why my position in the City Council is so important. So just in case people do not know where Brisbane is in Queensland. It's the capital city. We have 2.5 million people who live there. Brisbane is the 3rd largest metropolitan city in Australia. We have 300 nationally recognised institutions and we have universities in the top 200 globally, including the University of Queensland, which is in the top 50 universities in the world. I'm going to show you a small video because I think that's the best way to give you a little bit more feel of what Brisbane is.
Everything you need, take everything you see, though. Take everything but me. Sit your presence next to mine, but you know I will not resign, 'cause I had your job this hard. Now you're gone. Play my heart just like a drawstring in those pants that you are wearing. Tie me up and once become undone. Sitting in the passenger seat, feeding me words you know I can't eat. Spit them out and then I'll come undone. But the river still flows from the blood in your toes, and it's filled with all your thoughts that nobody ever knows. Well, I thought that you'd be the one to be there for me, but obviously my thoughts and views of you were wrong, 'cause that's my junk. You hit on, you gave it back, and now you're gone. Oh yes, now you're gone. Oh, now you're gone. Oh, now you're gone. Well, I thought that you'd be the one to be there for my thoughts and views. If you were wrong, yes, that's my job. You had, I thought that you'd be the one to be there for me, but obviously my thoughts and views. If you were wrong, yes, that's my job. You hit on me, gave it back, and now you're gone.
So I wanted to show that video because it does give you an idea of what Brisbane is facing moving forward. We have a lot of growth, a lot of infrastructure happening. Although I will give feedback to my colleagues back home that we didn't show the Gabba on there or highlight cricket, which I'm sure most of you will know Brisbane for. So in order to make sure that we have the right talent in the city, which is around about an additional 300,000 jobs by 2041, we need to make sure that our students, even from school level, have got the right skills. And we've heard a lot this morning about what those skills are. So in Australia, we have a nationally recognised Australian qualifications framework. It's very well established. It allows seamless transition between high school, vocational education and training and university. But there is more that it's needed to be done rather than formal qualifications. And as a city, we recognise that and try and give access. So I would like to talk about 3 case studies where we are working very closely with educational institutions, schools and the community to increase our students' skills in those 4 critical areas of the 4 Cs. So critical thinking, communication, creativity and of course collaboration, which are going to future-proof the city and also future-proof our students within the city. The first one is through Brisbane libraries. So through Brisbane we have 33 libraries all across the city and they offer free workshops for families and for students from as young as 5 years of age. And these include things like STEM, STEM Up Late, which is a whole family event which exposes families together with technology, robotics and mathematics. Also a technology tinker table, which includes things like robotics again, but also coding as well. These are free and anybody can attend them in Brisbane. The second case study I'm going to talk about is Student Connect, because it's all very well having a great educational system, but what's most important is that connection with industry. Are we creating the right skills and the right graduates in order to be employed? So what we have done in Brisbane Marketing is create this event called Student Connect. Brisbane has an up-and-coming startup and small medium business as a big industry in Brisbane. So what we do is we invite students to come and meet employers, especially in the digital and startup area, in order to connect with each other through speed interviewing. For the student, this creates an opportunity for them to practice their communication skills and creativity skills, because they have to sell themselves in 10 minutes. For employers, they also have a 2-minute pitch about what they're looking for in future employees. They come to the event with jobs available, and we've run these now for 2 years, and successfully we've had about 71% of employers saying that they have found somebody during this process, and 90% of students realise that actually what they're thinking and what they're preparing when they go to university or college or even school might not be there, because the marketplace might not have that particular job in the particular area that they're looking for. I just wanted to share with you this one success story. Vishant found his first job in Australia through this process. He was studying at Queensland University of Technology with data science, and he did a speed interview with a startup tech company called Explorate. He now, after graduating, holds the position of head engineer for that company, and he's participated in the latest event, actually looking for employees for that company. So we've been very proud of how these events have worked as a city. The final case study is one which really targets our 14-year-olds to our 24-year-olds. Now this is it's called Gen N, and what it is an entrepreneurial and innovation challenge, but it takes the whole state of Queensland. So what is very special about this is the fact of how many collaborators there are. So the state of Queensland funds this. The City of Brisbane, we also participate in it. Schools do, universities do, innovation centres and startups. So through this, it really does expose students to the 4 Cs. High school students can collaborate with university and TAFE college vocational students. They get to be mentored by academics from universities, but also entrepreneurs themselves. It's a really interactive process, and as you can see, it goes through 3 rounds. They go through the design thinking process, and should they be successful at the end and at the pitch, they actually win a cash prize. So there were 300 registrations last time in the pilot of this program, but how exciting would it be if we had a Gen N between Queensland and India? So students, both Australian, international in Brisbane and Queensland, and students in India actually collaborated through this. This is a success story. So Maxim and Nita came up with a great idea. They were high school students in Brisbane, and they were both musicians. And they wanted to access local musicians, but couldn't find anywhere which allowed them to do it. So they decided that they would go and talk to a whole lot of different Brisbane local musicians and came up with an idea of an app, which meant that anybody could access musicians at any time. They developed a website to showcase their idea, took it through all the different rounds of the Gen N challenge, and became a winner. So thank you for staying and listening to me. Like I said, I am very keen to talk to anybody who's interested in collaborating with institutions, schools, colleges, universities in Brisbane. So please don't be shy and come up and say hello. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much.